Blog Talk Radio.
For the next couple of hours, join us as we explore the imagination, the intuition, the inner realm, the inner world, winding our way into our discovery of the fifth dimension. What it is, what it means, how it looks, how it feels. Discovering new, broader perspectives of life as humans on the earthly plane. A journey within, a journey into a new yet ancient frontier, a journey into a new world, a new paradigm, a journey into the heart. A journey into consciousness, the journey of our lifetimes. This is your captain speaking. Please now watch your head, watch your breath. Say hello to your friends, loved ones, beings of all intelligent origins, of this world and without. Say hello to the Pleiadians, the Arcturians, the Sirians. Say hello to the energy Justals that have sent their love into the human world since before the beginning. Say hello to those that are our guides and teachers, our angels, our future and past selves. Say hello to the well-wishers from the known universe and beyond. Please place your mind and heart in their most advantageous and comfortable positions. Allow reason to go exist with intuition, with inspiration, and join me in the discovery of more and more of ourselves. I promise you a journey unlike any other. Let us explore together the mystical, the amazing, the magnificent world of heart-based living in the fifth dimension. Welcome to the Consciousness Evolution Hour with your host, Philip Malika. And good evening, everyone. This is Philip Malika. You have joined the Consciousness Evolution Hour on Blog Talk Radio. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for listening in. And in honor of my special guest tonight, I'm going to wish you all a fond good evening. Our special guest tonight is Allison Hamilton. Allison is a dear friend, and she's in our Consciousness Evolution 2.0 group. We've been hanging out there for quite some time now. Allison has recently begun channeling, and she has developed herself as an open channel and connects to many different energies that are in her heart space. And I'll let her describe some of those different energies to you when she comes on. You'll bear with me one moment. I'm just trying to figure out how to kill the music. It will stop in a moment, but I just don't like having to talk over it. Okay. So, Allison has been working on becoming an open channel. She connects, recognizes variances in energy within her, and allows those energies to then communicate to us in words. And she's also working very diligently, although it's not work at all, but it is a path of excitement in order to go about this process that really we're all going through, which is blending her physical self with her higher self and allowing that to express through her. So we'll be taking callers' questions tonight. We're going to chat with Allison a little bit here after the announcements, and then we'll be taking callers. And the call-in number, if you'd like to speak to Allison and the various energies that she channels, is 347-308-8788. And you're welcome to call in now, and we'll get you on with Allison. Okay, so let's do announcements. Ladies and gentlemen, we are officially on a run for the launching of our Internet Radio network. This is, and we are proudly presenting this show as part of the Rob Gauthier's Enlightenment Evolution Network. This is a network for all things metaphysical. We have the greatest team ever assembled for the Enlightenment Evolution Network. Most of you are aware of the Enlightenment Evolution Hour, which is every Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 6 p.m. Pacific. But now we're going to have a show from a different host each evening. And on Monday nights, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 6:30 p.m. Pacific Time, Daniel Scranton is hosting Heart to Heart Talk Radio with Daniel Scranton. Join Daniel and his featured guests as they discuss such topics as the shift, ETs, global events, channeling, energy work, toning and sound healing, manifestation, and all things metaphysical. Each show will open the phone lines to callers, generating high-frequency discussions on anything and everything related to living on planet Earth and beyond. You can find Daniel on Facebook. He has a page there, Daniel Scranton, and you can also find him. His website is danielscranton.com, and we're real easy to find. If you join up with the Consciousness Evolution 2.0 group, we get all that information there, and you can also find him on the Enlightenment Evolution Network page on Facebook. Daniel just had Nora Harold there Monday, and if you'd like to hear that, if you missed it, it's in archive right now, so you can listen to it at your leisure. And I'm not sure who Daniel's going to be channeling next week. He's going to be doing his own set of energies. We're not sure who yet. I think Daniel said on Monday we're not sure if it's going to be the Hathors or Ophelia or the Creators, but he will be channeling and taking caller questions. So we'll look forward to that. Wednesday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 6 p.m. Pacific, Rob Gauthier, most of you are familiar with his show. He is the creator of the Enlightenment Evolution Network, and he's going to host the show that started it all, the Enlightenment Evolution Hour. A trip through Wednesdays where every first Wednesday of the month I am channeling Treb, who will take all callers' questions. And we did that last night. It was a blast. I had the pleasure of being able to co-host and facilitate the calls for Treb. It was great talking to Treb. Great answers he had for the callers, and we had a lot of fun. Looking forward to that again. The third Wednesday will be a special guest, such as channelers and other metaphysical teachers, and the other 2 weeks are freestyle call-ins to share information and love with whoever wishes to co-create that evening with us. Although it is called the Enlightenment Evolution Hour, we always spend 1.5 or more hours with you. Okay. And, of course, Thursday nights, you're listening to it, the Consciousness Evolution Hour, and you're going to get a earful of that tonight. So Friday nights, the Earth Experience with Kalina Angel. Kalina Angel will be hosting her own upcoming show, The Earth Experience, on Friday nights. Dates and details in the works and coming soon. The Earth Experience explores our soul's expansion through our human experiences on Earth. The first topic explored will be what we can do when the shift hits the fan, navigating and expanding through the exciting confusions that we are manifesting as new 5D beings. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Tuesday, we've got some people that we're looking at. Rob is in talks with various folks to do the other shows. We're going to have a different show every day of the week, and this is very exciting to be a part of. I'm so pleased to be here, and my thanks to Rob for bringing me in on this. It's a dream come true. And speaking of dreams come true, we have Allison Hamilton with us tonight, who is going to be talking to us and sharing some of her energy, and we're going to bring Allison on right now. You there?
I am here. Can you hear me?
A fond good evening to you.
And a fond good evening to you too, my friend.
Well, thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
It's a pleasure to be here, and right now this is just me. This is Allison. There's nobody else chiming in just yet. So I'm very pleased to be here, Philip. Thank you for inviting me.
Pleasure. We were just saying before the show, who would have imagined 3 months ago that we'd be here doing this?
I certainly wouldn't have, but there's a whole bunch of other people lining up behind me right now who say, well, we knew this was coming.
Yes, indeed they did.
Yes, they did. We will sit back and let Allison talk for a while, and then we'll join in the fun.
We look forward to it.
Yes. Okay. We'll turn it back to Allison.
Okay. Well, Allison, when you are ready, how would you like to give us a little background on yourself? Just whatever you'd like to share with folks. What brought you to this? Any of your observations on what we're doing and going through now, and how this has impacted your life?
Well, this has been a kick in the pants, let me tell you. It has. Metaphysics and channeling in particular have been a big interest of mine for, I'd say close to 20 years. I've been studying metaphysics that long, and I guess about in the late 1990s, I started in on the Seth books, and Jane Roberts channeled Seth, and I read all those and I found them very, no offense, but I found them very complex, and I struggled through them. I had to read them all several times to actually unearth in terms that I could digest the information in the books. They're multi-layered books. They're just loaded with information, and anytime you pick one up and read it, you're going to get something new.
Without question. And back in the 90s, the energy was not what the energy is today. I had the benefit of picking them up 4 years ago, and I certainly had a lot of help and support, and it was a lot different than it was back in the 90s when you first picked them up.
Oh, it certainly is, and it's very different than it was back when Seth was first channeled through Jane. Yes, there's a lot of support available to us now, and they're showing me it's within arm's reach. All you have to do is reach your arms out and imagine that they're there, and they are there. We'll get back to imagination as our greatest tool, but I just wanted to give you a brief background. I've been trying my own methodology, trying to learn how to channel, and wishing upon a star and carrying crystals around in my hands and putting little totems around the house, and sitting out by plants and just wishing. My intention was very clear. I wanted to become a channel, and the urge for it was so strong that I could not turn it off. And it was coming from inside, pushing out. It was, I tell people, it was like the caterpillar in the chrysalis. You have to break out.
Absolutely.
And it was just that. Yeah, it was that strong. I didn't have a choice. So
Now, what interested you in channeling in the first place? Obviously, you picked up the Seth books. Was that the first exposure you had to it, or what piqued your interest in it?
the first exposure to metaphysics that I had was the Carlos Castaneda series.
Oh, very nice.
He was learning under the tutelage of the sorcerer Don Juan Matus,
right,
the Yaqui Indian sorcerer, and I read all those books and the fantastic adventures, and the gem in all those books is the discipline of focusing your attention, focusing your mind. You don't get that right off the bat when you're reading the Carlos books. There's a lot of trickery that the sorcerers use to trap your attention.
Sure.
And right, and it's a discipline of living to learn how to focus your energy, focus your attention. And the sorcerers have learned that is how you manifest. That is how you create realities, is through focusing your attention. So if you read those books, and I'm sure that there are listeners who have them and have read them, if you read them again with the eyes of a conscious creator, knowing that where you focus your attention is what you manifest, you'll get a whole different story out of those books than just a fantastical adventure of people running around in the desert doing impossible things.
Shrooming.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Sewing lizards' eyes shut, I mean.
The Lizard King, yes.
Yeah, right. So the Don Juan books really sparked my curiosity into metaphysics. And then I was having an awful lot of trouble at work, struggling with people and having clashes, and my boss and I were not getting along, and I went to see a counselor about it. And the counselor turned me on to two things that were very interesting and set me off in different directions, and one of them was Abraham Hicks.
Very nice.
She told me to look this up online. Have you ever heard of Abraham Hicks? No, I haven't. Well, check him out. So I did, and found just a wealth of information channeled by Esther Hicks, the energy Gestalt Abraham.
Yes.
Incredibly good, clear, easy to digest information. No offense to Seth.
Such a great place to start.
Oh, it is.
Esther just, Abraham just eases you into it so nicely and gives you, over and over and over again that basic mantra of, we're energy beings. Part of you is focused into this physical reality, and after you hear it, 100 times, it starts to make a lot more sense.
It does. It does. You basically start to own it. And then once in my mind, I have a picture of swallowing that information. Once you swallow it and it comes from inside out, then you're on a roll. Then you can start picking up speed, and stuff just starts to come to you. You're magnetized at that point.
Exactly.
And,
you're energized, and the energies now have a place to come in. They have a place to connect with you on a much more profound basis.
That was well put. Yes, you open up. Your channels open up, and they can communicate with you much more directly. They do all the time anyway, but so many of us are not tuned in. We are not tuned into our own sensors, and so we don't pay attention to the messages that we get all the time in answer to our questioning.
I got a cute little story I have to tell you. I'll make it quick. When I was like 2005 or so, and I had just started my business, and I was working out of my basement in my house, and this had been going on for years, but I had this like running dialogue in my head that didn't make any sense whatsoever. It was like a male voice, and it would just talk, and I swear to God, it was as if it was sitting there reading the newspaper or a magazine. And it would just talk and talk and talk and talk and talk. And this would go on all day long. And I mean, I just thought everybody had that. I'm like, okay, I don't know what this is. So around 2005, I was in my basement and I'm working, and I was really trying to focus on something. And this dialogue was just getting harder and harder to ignore. And finally, I just threw down my mouse and I said, "Fine, I'm listening. What do you want?" And the moment I said that, it went dead silent, and then I heard a voice in almost a whisper, and it said, "Shh, he's listening." And I went, "Holy shit, what was that?" And from that point, of course, at that point, I still had no idea. I had no metaphysical background or anything, but I just thought it was the most extraordinary thing. And from that moment on, I didn't have that dialogue. And then, of course, in 2009, the floodgates burst open. But that was I'll never forget that. It was just so wild at the time.
That is a crack up, and the picture I'm getting, it's like they hit the mute button once they figured out that you were listening. But we are observed by many beings. What we do is very interesting to beings on other planes, and I am suspecting that you are a subject of great interest, and they were observing you, but as they're reading from their newspaper or whatever, you know how you get distracted. Apparently you weren't doing something interesting enough to keep their attention.
You know what I really think? I think they were just going to keep talking until I started listening, until they finally broke that log jam, and I understood that this is my inner voice. That there is somebody who's willing to help me. I think they were just decided, he won't listen. I'm just going to talk. I'm just going to sit here and read the newspaper or read whatever and talk until he decides to listen. And that's exactly what happened.
Right on. Right on.
That was funny.
Okay. They will trick us into paying attention.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Right. Any trick in the book, that's what Abraham says. That's right.
It's all fair game, and it's all with our best well-being, our greatest good in mind.
Without question. And you have to know, we have to know now that going back, this didn't start last year or start 2 years ago or start on even 10 years ago. This was always the plan. We all know that this was always the plan, and even though free will operates, that we came in with great intention, and certainly this was in the works for both you and I and other people that are on this path, or everyone's on their own paths, and they're all led to their own benefit, to have experiences that serve them.
Yes, absolutely.
So you went through. Okay, so you started off with the Carlos. I'm sorry.
Castaneda.
Thank you.
Yes, and I really don't know how to pronounce that. It's got that funny little squiggle on top of the E. But someone will send me something online that will tell me exactly how to say it right, I'm sure. But yeah, the Carlos books were great, and then the Seth books.
Oh yes.
And in between the Seth books and the Abraham books, I went to I had never been a meditator ever. Didn't even know how to do it. But one of my sisters went to the Vipassana meditation retreat, a 10-day silent retreat. Oh. You can't say anything for 10 days.
Oh, my gosh. I've heard about those.
Oh, it's intense. And it's 9 hours of meditation a day and no talking. It's instructed. They teach you how. But it was the hardest thing I'd ever done in my life.
Wow.
It had made such a profound difference. She's not listening, so I'll say this. It's my sister who's not listening.
Oh.
She went to she was a bitch. She was always crabby, always condemning, just the most critical person you'd ever hope to come across or wouldn't hope to, but anyway, she went away to this meditation retreat, and she came back, and about a month after that, she came to visit me, and I swear to God, she looked like she was glowing, like there was a halo on her head.
Wow.
She was so full of peace and love and kindness that I didn't know what to think about it. I was stunned, and I thought, my God, if that retreat could do that for her, think of what it could do for me.
Yeah.
I'm not nearly that bad. So, of course, in my own mind, I'm not. But anyway, I went off to that meditation retreat, and about day 5, I was ready to kill somebody. It was so hard. Your ego really wants to maintain control of your driver's seat. It wants to be the main driver of your experience here on Earth.
Sure.
And we've taught it that. I mean, it's our socialization, it's our whole process, but truly we're not set up that way, and you learn that through practices like meditation. And this, about 6 or 7 days into the retreat, I started to feel an immense relief. And time got really strange and funky on me, and then my body started to go through weird energy running up and down my body, and I thought to myself, holy smokes, this is worth the price of admission. And it's free. I mean, Vipassana meditation retreats are free. You look it up online. They offer the service free to humanity, and students support it. If they've gotten something out of it, they're asked to provide some support so they can continue with this teaching.
Yeah, wonderful.
It was fantastic. I had out-of-body experiences. I had connection for the first time in my memory, true connection with my whole self. And that's where I felt my eternal nature and my solidity in a place that wasn't in my body. It's very hard to explain, but I knew I was more than me. I knew I was much more than me. And I came back to my normal life and became a vegetarian. I mean, right off the bat.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, the retreat served vegetarian food. It was all vegetarian, and that was in the year 2000, and I haven't had meat since. I just never had urge for it after that.
Yeah.
It was profoundly changing to me on many levels, but you get back in your day-to-day life, and I did, and I got back into my work life, and then got into these issues with my boss and got sent to the counselor and Abraham Hicks, and she also did a little number on me that she had learned through a program called Matrix Energetics. And I won't go into details here because I could go on and on. It's really fun. It's a blast. If you ever get an opportunity to attend a Matrix Energetics seminar, I would recommend it. It works with energy, and this woman had her hands out, probably 6 inches from my body, one out in front of my stomach and one hand above my head, and then she closed her eyes and she concentrated and just asked me to stand there quietly. And as she concentrated, I wilted. My head started falling down, my body started collapsing, and I just sank down onto the floor, and I was in a state of bliss. And it was another way of connecting up to self.
Yes.
The Matrix Energetics works with frequencies of energy. And I'll try to make a long story short. I went to 3 seminars and learned the techniques, and it's just so much fun to throw energy around and to have it thrown at you. And I mean, you can actually get knocked down from standing straight up, and it's happened to me several times, by a big push of energy. And it seems like non-physical beings really enjoy playing around with us physical beings in these frequency fields. But anyway, that experience really kind of got me into opening up my perceptions to things that I didn't really believe in before.
Sure.
Like energy can come at you out of nowhere and make you sit flat down on your butt.
Yeah.
They say, there's the old saying, you have to believe it before you see it. And I have found that to be true in every instance of this great adventure and exploration. You cannot experience these things really fully until you believe it. Because once you believe them, then you open the doors to experience them. It makes it a lot easier, let me put it that way. The non-physical doesn't have to try so hard and pull tricks and push and shove to get your attention or to help you to experience certain things if you start out from a platform of believing.
Right.
So,
and then that quickly gives way to knowing. And, you know, that's a state that you will prove it to yourself. And I always tell people, that come through the groups and stuff that, follow your own path. And as you do that, you know, and I give them pointers like, you know, living in the moment and following your excitement. And I said, you will prove it to yourself because your life will absolutely explode. If you just start down this path and live in the moment and follow your excitement and realize that you choose in every moment, every aspect of your life, and choose how you feel, that your life will absolutely explode. And it happened to me. I'm certain that it happened to you.
yes.
It's a wonderful place to get to. And then belief gives way to knowing, because you don't have to believe something that you know.
Are you there?
I am.
I'm afraid oh, okay. Yeah, for a second I lost you.
Yes, I am.
Yes, but you're absolutely right. I like to tell people the same thing. Don't take my word for it. You will prove this to yourself, and I've had several friends do exactly that. There's nothing to lose, right? There is absolutely nothing to lose. All you have to do is want to feel better. That's it. You know?
That's it.
Yeah, I want to feel better.
And who doesn't want to feel better?
Right. In my case, it was, I always have been a need-to-know person. I've been a seeker of knowledge all my life, and I as a child, I found that I really did not fit in. I struggled an awful lot with trying to figure out who and what I was, and everybody else seemed to understand life and social structure, and it didn't make sense to me. So I faked it, you know, and I think a whole lot of us do. You fake it to fit in, and so once you start faking it, you turn off your connection to your inner voice, because you're not listening to that anymore. You're listening to everybody outside of you tell you how life is supposed to be.
Oh, isn't that the truth? Yeah.
Yeah, and then you really get screwed up, and I did, and went through a real difficult adolescence, and but actually, as I look back on my adolescence and then my first marriage, which was an adventure in ridiculous awfulness, it launched me into a whole different adventure on the other side of the world, which then became its own set of catastrophes, which launched me into the next big adventure. But I was telling somebody earlier this week, as I look back on the so-called disasters of my life, they've all been such catapulting blessings into brand new experiences where I was put in positions where I had to learn to trust myself. I had to go inward to find the answers, and the more you go inward and find your answers, because you will, and then the answers turn out to be good ones that lead you into good places, you build up trust in yourself.
Yeah.
And the more trust you have in yourself, it's that knowing you were just talking about, the bigger you become. You create your own foundation. You build your own foundation of you. And you don't get there typically by a life of ease and
without challenges, yeah.
Yes, we tend to like to sit around and eat grapes and drink wine, a wonderful life of ease. It takes sometimes a kick in the rear to get us to wake up and pay attention to our own lives and start to grow ourselves, which I think is one of the primary reasons that we're here, is to grow ourselves. There are other reasons, and you alluded to that earlier, this time of great change that we're in right now, and the path that we find ourselves on as awakening human beings, becoming aware of our own consciousness, our own ability to create ourselves and everything around us, and this is absolutely part of our path.
Yes, it is. I can the word escapes me. I can so understand when you were talking about when we're trying to be something we're not. I spent a great deal of my life desperately trying to maintain this structure of ego that was so opposite of what my heart was. And I think that's what led me to a very acute sadness and depression that then led me to seek better answers to the questions that I had. And, I can go around when we have the local meetups here. We can go around, every single one of us can point to one particular event in our lives, and many of them can be very traumatic or just a real hot mess, and point to them and say, if that really was a catapult that took me to the next level, because it caused me to search, caused me to go inside. And I can tell you that since I have undertaken this, and the more that I allow myself to just be who I am, I just have never been happier in my life. I just have never been so comfortable in my own skin. I was so uncomfortable in my own skin. And maybe that was your experience too.
Absolutely. Yep. And it did lead to depression, a couple bouts of serious depression, and then medication for depression, and then medication to counter the medication for depression. And, that stupid whole, I shouldn't probably have said stupid. It did help me at the time. It was all I had.
Right.
I wasn't paying attention to the knock on my door, so it got louder.
Yeah.
It got louder and louder.
Indeed.
And
now, the recent part of our journey here, this has accelerated so quickly, and maybe you can, what is your, I can't even look back 6 months and recognize any part of my life to what it is today. What is your impression of what this acceleration that we've gone through since, well, of course it's been going on, but it really has intensified since 12/21/2012, at least for me.
I started really feeling the flimsiness of reality probably last summer. And the urges inside, nothing was happening to me, but I felt great pressure build up, and my project at work, my professional job had basically stalled, and I sat in front of my computer and I thought, I'm going to pop. There's something inside of me. It's just, I don't know what the hell is going on here. And I thought, I talked to a girlfriend of mine, Maria, and she'll hopefully come on this program at some point because she's recently started channeling too.
We would love to have you two on.
Yes, and yes, we're a good team.
Yes, you are.
She also was going through this weird, very strange pressure buildup inside of her. She was not a student of metaphysics, hadn't been exposed to any of that, except for through just talking with me a little bit about it. But I digress. But I really, this summer, it started to hit me, I need to channel. I've always been interested in it. Like I said, I wanted to. Nothing was happening. But it was like the hands were on the cage doors rattling and saying, let us out. But I couldn't get there. And so finally I broke down in November, and I'd had a couple sessions with Dan Scranton. I dialed him up and had some personal sessions with him that really helped me get confidence in my own direction, that this is something that I can do. And his channeled information was, well, yes, honey, basically, where do you think all this urging is coming from? This deep-seated urging in you is you. So, yes, this is your path. But I still wasn't able to articulate. So I had a channeling session with Dan Scranton, and that was all that was needed to open the floodgates, so to speak. And the next week after I started talking, the very first time I had a session with him, by the end of the lesson, I had contacted fairy energy, and a fairy was talking through me. Then I kind of went blank, and all I got was a whole lot of toning, and just for about 2 weeks. I was driving myself crazy. I was walking around the house making noise all the time. And it was nice sounding noise, but it was noise nonetheless, and there weren't any words attached. And then the words just started coming. And right away, I'd say by, gosh, if I'm remembering correctly, it was about day 3, I was sitting in this room doing a little practice session with myself, and a very strange, unfamiliar but familiar voice came through that chuckled and said, well, what did you expect? Another fairy? And I didn't know what to expect. And the voice said, yes, you are correct. This is Seth. And the me part of me, with hearing that, I was thinking to myself, oh shit, what do I do now?
Yeah.
and he/they carried on for a little bit and noted that they are talking through many people these days. The connection that Seth had with Jane is as valid and valuable and ongoing as ever. That doesn't mean that Seth is going to sit in the corner with his thumb in his mouth for the rest of eternity. That's not how we operate. That's not how we roll.
Well, number one, he's a speaker, and number two, the very fact that Seth did exist in that timeline means he exists now, because there is only now. So if he existed at all, then he exists always and forever. And of course that energy is there for us to connect to. So go ahead, I'm sorry.
Oh no, please keep talking. There's a whole lot
yes.
going on.
Well, I'm gonna prompt them with a wonderful little story, shortly before Christmas. And I don't even remember how we got to this point, but we decided to Skype each other, and I wanted to speak to whatever energies were around. I think we had shared that you had begun channeling. I knew that you had taken the class with Daniel Scranton. So anyway, we had a Skype visit, and you and I and Michael, and we're talking, and this was our first conversation. And I'm talking to you, and all of a sudden you went quiet, and then you looked up at me, and I almost fell over, because before you ever said a word, I recognized Seth. And the energy that I felt that you were reflecting back to me was undescribably wonderful for me, because I had all this Seth energy build up in me, but I just hadn't turned the corner, and I really wanted to make that connection with Seth.
You have that connection all the time.
Hello, my friend.
We would like you to know that and remember that.
I most certainly will. And what I really came to realize was that Allison did such a service for me by reflecting back to me what was there all along.
Yes. Yes. We know that you have accessed us several times since. We are with you, available to you. Let me put it that way. We are at your disposal. We can come through many. We are an energy gestalt. The speakers change depending on the subject. We will allow Allison to come through at this point.
Thank you, my friend.
Let me see. Yes. Well, they would like us to talk about humanity, where we are at this point in, as you said in the introduction, when the shift hits the fan. It already has.
Yeah.
We are well on our way. And many of you are feeling this, and you are feeling the changes in your physical bodies. There is much energy being focused and delivered to the planet these days. Those of you sensitives, or even the unsensitive, if you're paying attention, you can feel the changes. Allison feels them strongly. Now, what we would like to impart to you is how to handle these adjustments. Remember to breathe. That seems pretty basic. But many of you find yourselves knotted up and resisting. It causes you to breathe shallowly. The energy buildup becomes intense. Breathe deeply. Breathe deeply into your stomach, into your abdomen, and let out fully. This helps ground you as you breathe deeply and fully and slowly. you can level out your energy at this higher vibration, this higher vibratory state. You may and most likely will feel the need to stretch. Stretch. Do stretch. Your body, your energy body, is changing. You are operating at a higher frequency. This is a different platform than the one you were born into. You are entering unfamiliar territory with every shift in frequency. Your body reacts. This is normal. Do not think there is anything amiss. In fact, there is everything right in this. Rejoice in these changes. You are changing. You are evolving inside your own skin. These are magnificent and wondrous times you find yourselves in. You find yourselves in. You signed up for this. You came here to experience this. So delight in it, my dears. Delight in it. Revel in it. Breathe it in and breathe it out. Now, as you are doing your breathing, reach for us. Seek us. We are your helpers. There are countless numbers of us for each of you to help you ascend inside your own physical being. We are here. We are here. As you breathe and open, we come in. You will find that we are you. You will find that we are you. You, your wholeness, your beingness. You will open your eyes and feel more than you looking out. You can feel your multidimensional self. This is who you really are. You exist on more levels than you can imagine. You have more power than you have ever let yourselves know. Well, these days, my friends, these are the days of awakening. You are coming into your own. Every single one of you has this capacity. We are waiting to help. All you need to do is open the door. State your intention. Open the door. Let us in. We are going to, we'll use the term stand down for a few moments because Allison's body is reacting. She is needing to breathe. Sometimes she forgets. So we will back off now and let her calm. So please have a conversation.
Wonderful. I was right there with you. Oh, I could just feel that energy flowing through me. And you know, every new platform, every new level is just it's a new amazing discovery of more of yourself. God, that was enjoyable.
Very good.
Oh, I'll just take a moment and remind folks that please do call in. We're going to be taking phone calls here shortly. The call-in number is area code 347-308-8788. So call in now, and we'll be starting to take calls very shortly here. In fact, we're at about 5 minutes to the hour. When did you want to do that?
Anytime works for me.
Well, we've got 2 callers on the line here that have been holding patiently for some time. Would you like to take one now, and we'll
Certainly.
see where that goes?
We'll see where it goes.
Okay. And we have a caller from the 352 area code. Who are we speaking with tonight?
Hey, this is Savita.
Hi, Savita. Hello.
Have you heard my name?
I believe I have.
Okay. Hello to you, Philip, because this is the first time I'm talking to you. And
yes, it is.
I am enjoying your show. Oh, my God. No words. It is so, the energy is so free-flowing. It is so beautiful. It is fun. I'm loving it.
Oh, wonderful.
Thank
That's
you
music to
so
my
much.
ears. Oh, thank you.
It is it's just like, just one thing I just kind of started feeling now. I think this is, I don't know if it has something to do with the ascension period or whatever. I just started feeling kind of blending into other people.
Yes.
Yes.
So, listening to you guys, I just feel like blending into, it's just like being there with you or being you, me. I don't know how to express it.
It is you.
It is beautiful. Yes, it is beautiful. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Please do.
Okay. I just, friends from other sides, hello to you guys.
Hello to you.
Do you have any, thank you. Do you have any message for me?
Your energy is lovely. We feel lightness from you. We are very pleased that you feel the blendingness. For indeed, that is happening. It is occurring across your planet. Your intentions to know yourselves as multidimensional beings connect you on other levels of existence to each other. Through these connections, which you are now consciously accessing, you will start to feel this connection anytime you desire.
I desire all the time.
Yes, okay, then. You may have it. How Allison accomplishes blending is purposefully sitting for it and focusing her attention, her intention, and her attention on opening her channel to her whole self. I will take this point in time to plug her website, connectingtoconsciousness.com. There is another resource. She has a YouTube channel. If you go to YouTube and put in Allison Hamilton channel, She is, I think, the second link. There are several Allison Hamiltons, as you might imagine. She, we believe, is the second one in the listing, but you may have to search. There are several YouTubes that she has made, tutorials on blending. So do check out those resources. You can also contact her through the connectingtoconsciousness.com website. But what we would like to say to you right now is clearly you are on track. You are on track.
Thank you.
Your intention is clear. Your helpers are there. Calm your mind. Calm your mind. Place your attention in your heart. Reach out through your heart. And again, breathe. Really, this sounds simple, and it is, because you are made for this. You came with this. You came with this intention. You are waking up. You are waking up.
I do feel a big, huge change in me. It's like I'm a different person. I mean, it's a huge change.
Yes.
And it's beautiful. It is so beautiful.
And Savita, you were saying too that this connection we feel just among ourselves, we're the energy that we get this a lot in our Consciousness Evolution group on Facebook, where people were involved in conversations and stuff, but these heart-to-heart connections, it feels like not only are we blending with our higher selves, we're also blending with all the rest of us that are running at this frequency, and it's a wonderful feeling, such a beautiful, heartfelt feeling.
Yes,
I know
you are,
because it's a knowing. When we grow into the consciousness, then this oneness. I started understanding the meaning of oneness now. It's like when you grow, when the way we humans are growing, it's like becoming this blending. It's like becoming it's like orchestra. It's
yes.
We all of us, we are doing our part, and it's a symphony. And that symphony talks. It just mind blowing. It's beautiful. Like it's a feeling. I feel it. It's an amazing time.
Yes.
It's an amazing time. It's a beautiful time. It's a beautiful time. Okay,
you said it very well. Yes, please go ahead.
Thank you. I want to ask one more thing. I feel it's a personal thing. Nowadays, what I feel is, it's like I'm on some kind of emotional roller coaster. It's just so. I'm so happy. It's like never been happy. This it's a different kind of happiness. It's just like a light. It lighted in you, and then I'm crying. I'm just crying. I don't judge myself why I'm crying. I just kind of accept it and let go. But it just my logic mind, why? That why. Probably I understand a little bit, but I want to know from you. What do you say about it? Because I just cry.
You are releasing trapped energy. You are releasing. You are shedding. You are shedding old layers. You are releasing trapped emotion. You release and you become lighter. You release and you become lighter. Allison cries all the time, too. It comes over her.
Good to know.
And she doesn't know why. So she just spins her hands around and says, release, release, release. And when she's done, she feels better. These times...
And I'm sleep...
Please,
I'm
go
sorry.
ahead.
One another thing, I'm so sleepy nowadays. I sleep a lot. You know, it just...
I have that too. I have that too. It's like if I don't get my 8 hours, I'm a wreck.
That made me pop in. This is just Allison here talking now. When you said you sleep all the time, I popped up because I'm a 9, 10, 11 hours a night. It's crazy. I
know. It's so. I just feel, I'm a nurse, and I was saying, oh my God, you know what? I just sleep like a baby, and I'm sleeping a lot, and I'm so sleepy. Being in the medical profession, so they say, Savira, just go get your sleep apnea thing done. Maybe you snore, maybe you have sleep apnea, and my heart knows that. Honey, we are connecting, it's just because my heart knows this, because I'm sleeping a lot, because we are adjusting to this energy, it's just, but logic mind, I'm human, I'm human, I have logic mind,
Well, when I grew up, I was, I remember the old saying that 6 hours a night was good, and 7 hours was okay, and 8 was, you're pushing it, and 10 was sinful. 10 hours a night was sinful. I remember that.
And I just go. I think when you grow old, you sleep less, and I'm thinking, oh my God, I'm growing old and I'm sleeping more. Wow.
Well, Savita, I want to thank you very much for calling in. It's been wonderful talking to you. We've got a number more callers on the line, so we're going to move on here. But thank you so much for calling in. Your energy is wonderful, dear. Thank you so much for sharing with us.
Much love to you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Same here. Bye.
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 Okay. That was fun.
Yes.
Wonderful energy. God, I could just feel her so strongly. And when she said blending, I'm like, man, I'm there. I'm there. All right, Allison, we're going to take another phone call if you'd like.
Certainly.
Okay. This is, we're talking to the 971 area code, and who do we have on the line with us tonight?
You have Virginia, a friend of Allison.
Ah, very nice.
Yeah.
Well, welcome to the show. And do you have a question for Allison, or whatever you'd like to say is fine?
No question.
We were hoping. This is Virginia. We love Virginia. Virginia and Allison go back many lifetimes. They are sisters. They have known each other in this physicality for several years. They have known each other on non-physical levels for multitudes of lifetimes. They support each other. They are connected through the heart. Yes, Virginia, we love you very much.
Did you have anything else, Virginia?
No, I'm a quiet one. Just want to be here for Allison. But thank you.
Oh, well, thank you so much for calling in.
Thank you so much, Virginia. My dear friend Ginny, thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye. All right, just to remind you that we're still going to be able to take a few more callers, and the phone number to dial in if you'd like to speak to Allison and gang is area code 347-308-8788. And we've got another caller on the line here. This is from the 613 area code, and who are we speaking with tonight?
Hi, Taylor.
Hi, Taylor. How are you?
How are you? I'm good.
I'm wonderful. Would you like to speak to Allison and friends?
Well, I just kind of tuned in. I'm not really familiar with this show.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, we can put you back on hold, and we appreciate you dialing in, and thanks for joining us tonight.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, we have another caller from the 360 area code, and who's with us tonight?
Hi, Philip and Allison.
Hi.
This is Risha.
Risha?
This is Risha, yeah.
Hi, how are you?
Hello, Risha.
Hi, Allison. I am awesome, and I'm so enjoying your show. And I want to say hello to Savita, too. She's my call-in friend. We've met each other only through calling in.
Oh, wow.
And, yes, I sleep a lot. And what I wanted to say, let me see. Just so good to make the connections. Long time ago, I had this feeling that one day everyone would channel, and it's coming true, isn't it?
Yes.
I guess we all channel, some knowingly and some unknowingly, but yeah, it's just so awesome to feel the higher selves of ourselves, the collectives coming through us. It's awesome. And I did have something else I wanted to say, and that is I have some friends who are real sensitives, and through the big earthquakes that have happened in the past, I mean the really big ones, their bodies always reacted in some way, sometimes as though they were giving birth, both male and female. I have a male and female friend, and both of them felt as though they were giving birth. But for the first time yesterday afternoon, about 24 hours ago, the areas of my first and second chakras started to quiver, and I didn't know. And they told me, you look down there, Risha, just look. And I could see it was visible on the outside. My body was just shaking and shaking. And I immediately knew it had something to do with the huge earthquakes taking place continuously now in Chile. And what I got, the instructions were, or what I got from my higher self, was to literally love that part of my body, to love that part of Gaia, and to love the plates of Mother Gaia. Love those plates that are helping us birth into this new dimension. And I'm so glad it's so powerful to say it out, because I know other people will hear this and maybe they'll resonate with it. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you both.
You're welcome.
We would like to point out that as humans are becoming aware of their own ability to manifest and create themselves, their own ability to create their own reality, they are becoming aware of what they've always done. They are now just becoming conscious of it. Planet Earth is now becoming conscious of herself as the being that she is at the same, let me choose different words, Similarly to how humanity is waking up, planet Earth is waking up and becoming aware of her own consciousness and her part in creating herself and her beingness. This is a cause for great celebration indeed. Thank you for your message.
Thank you. Joy, joy, joy.
Yes.
Such great energy. Yeah, I've had in fact, we were talking about it today on Facebook. There's been, I can sense something. I think Linda said that she felt like the energy is very unsettled right now. And I can sense that as well. And I don't, unsettled, even though it is, maybe unsettled would be an adjective that you could use. I don't feel that it's necessarily negative, though. I feel amazingly positive.
Yes, that's exactly what I got. I was told that I could tune in to any number of scenarios because they're multitudinous. I could tune in if my third dimensional mind wanted to into a really scary scenario. I have a type of a scientific mind slightly, and I could look at the Earth exactly what's happening in 3D terms, and it could be terribly frightening if I wanted to go there. But I also have the intention, I have the ability to picture it in a different way, and I think that's what my job is to bring up the vibrational energies into one that feels good in my heart, which doesn't necessarily have to be one of huge mass destruction, which is a possibility on levels. That's right, yes.
Everything is always possible. Everything is possible. Every choice exists. We would recommend that you spend your attention only on those things that bring you joy, or as our friend Bashar says, follow your bliss. We would not spend any time entertaining energetic scenarios that did not cause us delight and joy.
Yes, it's a choice.
Yes, it always has been, and now you are becoming aware of it.
Yes, I didn't know. I thought I had to believe what other things, but no, I don't. And none of us do, and it's so powerful when we get it.
Yes. Yes. You are creator beings. There is none more powerful. You make the choices. Your outside reality is a reflection to you of choices you consciously or unconsciously select. In this period, this time, this great time of waking up, you are becoming much more conscious of your selections. Philip has used the term in the past. These days, the currency that your attention is your currency. Spend it freely, but spend it wisely. Your attention is your currency. Spend it on what you want to buy.
It's a great way to look at it. Yeah, when you look at it that way, it's easy to decide, hey, where am I going to spend my money today?
Yes.
And I guess I still have I'm not even going to go there, but yes, that's so true. That is so true and so powerful. And I did want to say one other thing to you, Philip, and it has to do with last night's show, which was so wonderful as well. As you were talking about feeling, you could feel the water energies. I live just 50 feet from the Pacific Ocean, and Yes, as you were speaking, everything you were saying was what I was seeing and feeling, including a few whales that were spouting. Which is very
wonderful.
Yeah, it's not very often. I'm halfway down the Washington coast, and I don't see that very often, but I did last night when you were talking.
Oh, wow, how wonderful. What a great synchronicity.
Yeah, it was.
Well, thank you so much for your call and your comments and all of everything that you've added to the energy of the show, Risha. We appreciate you calling in and hope you call back next time.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much. Your energy is delightful.
Have a wonderful night.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. Wonderful. God, I love these callers. It's fabulous. I'm so pleased to have these type of people listening in and joining in our conversation. We do have a couple more on the line. Would you like to take another call?
Certainly.
Okay. This is the, let's see. This is the 570 area code. Who's joining us tonight?
Philip, hi, this is Gitta.
Hi, one more time, I'm sorry.
This is Gitta.
Gitta. Very nice.
Yes.
Pleased to meet you. Did you have a question or comment for Allison and friends? Gitta?
Sorry, I lost you there for a minute.
Oh, that's okay. Did you have a question or comment for Allison and friends?
I do. I have a question for, I guess you could pose it to both of you.
Okay.
I guess it's safe to say you guys probably heard this question many times in the past, but I'm sure listeners would like to hear it from an enlightened source. When you guys are receiving higher source beings, how exactly do you differentiate between your own inner voice and the communication that's coming in separately from that higher consciousness?
That's an excellent one for Allison.
It is a very good question. For one thing, we're smarter. When you tune into your higher self, you are familiar with your own energy. Let's start this over. From the very beingness of you, the life that you've lived, you know your own energy signature. You know what you feel like. You know, you might not have identified it as your vibration, but you know your own vibration. When you connect with other, non-physical, and Allison has done this with her own higher self, the energy is the same when she is blending with herself. It is, and this is me now talking. I am blended Allison. I am her same energy frequency. I feel bigger, more expansive. I feel eternal, and she recognizes herself in the well that is me, that is her. When we move outside of this frequency, or when others join, as they are doing now, it is apparent the energy frequency changes. It is different. I am feeling many different frequencies right now. They are unfamiliar. They are not me. It is a matter of learning to discern And actually, learning is not even necessary. It's a knowingness. You will know. That said, we would like you to, while you still understand that these are different energies, we have been greatly encouraging people to erase the lines between the pictures in your head, your specific identity, your individual pattern, and that of not you, whatever is not you, outside of you. These are constructs. They don't in actuality exist. Different frequencies do. Don't misunderstand me. But you have the ability as a multidimensional, eternal being to skate across them all. So it serves you to not draw those lines in with permanent ink, but instead take your eraser and make little dashes in them and start to leak through into these unknown areas. We tell people to put on their adventurer's cap because there is great excitement in non-physical and great adventures ahead for you. The frontier is wide open and full of loving fun.
I'm so pleased to hear you say that, because I was going to say, I really don't differentiate the different energies. I allow in what feels good, and I guess I can sense that they're different because they do feel different than me, but they still feel absolutely wonderful. So rather than me focusing on trying to label and categorize and differentiate them, I loved what you said, how you could skate across them all, and as you do so, it just is such a joyous journey of energy expansion. So yes. I was very pleased to hear you say that.
You truly are all one. There truly are no separations. But we understand the games you like to play and the experiences those games lead to. They are all purposeful and worthwhile. Did that answer your question?
Absolutely. That was extraordinarily informative, and I think that's going to help a lot of the newbie listeners that are curious exactly how it works.
Very good.
And thank you very much for your call, Gita. We appreciate it. And you have a wonderful evening. Thanks for tuning in tonight.
Both of you. Have a terrific show.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Very good.
Ah, wonderful. Very good. Okay. Let's see. We do have another caller on the line, and we still have some time, so that's good. So let's go to the next one. This is the 505 area code. And who are we speaking with tonight?
Yes, this is Melissa Crane.
Hi, one more time. I'm sorry.
Yes, this is Melissa Crane.
Hi. Thank you for calling
Hello.
in tonight. Hi. Did you have a question for Allison and friends?
Yes. Actually, I think my entire life is kind of confused. My question for her or for you is just I have two voices, So one says turn to the right, then the other one says no, to the left. And I don't know which way to go. I'm not sure what excites me just yet, and I'm trying to follow my path. And kind of 2 years ago, I decided to go to school, and I thought it was going to be great, but it's not coming in, it's not that excitement anymore. I don't know. It is kind of confused. I'm confused. I don't know which way to turn. Does that make sense?
It does make sense. We would like to calm you a little and remind you that all paths lead to the same place. You cannot make a mistake. Some paths take you through the woods and some take you across the prairie. We would advise, if you haven't already, taking the path of joy. You cannot get it wrong. We talked earlier in the program, Allison mentioned her some of her history and what might be termed as miserable or disastrous times that led to magnificent uncoverings, adventures, and lessons that she would not have had if she had followed a straight and narrow course, or if she had followed the course laid out for her by society. So we would encourage you, as you look at your pathways, all the choices in front of you, and everybody has numerous choices, to continually, moment to moment, select the one with heart. Select the one with heart.
Okay.
I know exactly what you mean. I was going to say that along the same lines, and I found in my own experience that, and of course, that the simplest way that I find to choose when I'm confused is to just simply choose the one that feels better. Because we're always given choices in every moment, and I always tell people, seek relief. Seek relief, whatever it is. It doesn't matter, seek relief. And in every single moment to seek relief. And that is almost a built-in mechanism to us that if we just listen to our emotions and feel them and listen to our heart, that it will lead us in the right direction, even if sometimes it doesn't appear that it's the right direction, that we're always being led in service to ourselves. And the one other thing I wanted to mention too, and you mentioned being nothing excites, nothing, kind of a blasé perhaps, kind of in between, just not really sure. And I've had periods like that recently, and what I came to realize for myself is that those periods are meant for me to take care of myself. I'm not being given any great inspirations to do something because there's something that I just need to do, that I need to love myself, that I need to care for myself, that I need to, again, seek relief for myself and bring my heart into a better place. And it's if you can just do that without judgment, without judging that you're not, thinking that you're not doing what you need to be doing or what you're supposed to be doing, and just allow yourself that ease of heart, and allow it to carry you, because life truly is a wave, and if you allow the wave to carry you, it will take you where you want to go.
Okay. All right, thank you.
You're very welcome.
I want to add that was beautifully said, and we could not have said it better. And also, to state your intention, as Philip said, if your intention is joy and relief, joy and relief. State your intention. Maybe add play. Maybe add happiness. State your intention and then follow your heart. The path may not go where you think it's going to go. It may take you places you would not have consciously selected. This is where trust comes in. As he said, ride the wave. Trust it. You are supported. You are supported. Trust. State your intention and trust, and follow your heart.
All right.
Wonderful.
Okay. I think
Thank
I got
you
it.
so
Thank
much.
you.
You're very welcome. Thank you
for
joining us tonight and for calling in.
Thank you.
Thank you for doing these.
You're very welcome.
You're doing a great job.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Have
you
a wonderful night.
I should say, you too.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
We have time for one more caller. That call-in line is area code 347-308-8788. If you'd like to call in very quickly here and have a question or comment for Allison and friends, I'll mention very quickly we have a cute name that we use for the collection of energies that Allison's channeling, which is Mattis. M-A-T-A-S. And would you like to tell us where we came up with that?
Mattis stands for, it's an acronym, it stands for Myron and the All-Stars. And that came about one evening when we were discussing all the hullabaloo and flack around the fact that Seth happens to still be speaking. Lord Almighty. So we said, what matters is the message. It is not the name you choose to put on the speaker. The name means nothing to us, but if you must have a name, call us Myron. You can call us Myron. And since there is more than one of us, we decided to call ourselves the All-Stars. So, Myron and the All-Stars were born, also known as Mattis. We are one group of energies that has come through tonight. There have been many.
Yes, there are. There are a number of other energies that we've heard from over the last few months. Would you like to describe some of them? Or maybe some of them are around, would like to say hello?
We are the group she refers to as the Bright Ones.
Hello, my dears.
Hello. We incorporate fairy energy. That's all I have from them. They're gone. They do come and go like that.
Yeah, right.
Yes.
And
now it's just me.
Now, who are some of the other energies that we've spoken to? I know we haven't heard from Lyric in a while, at least I haven't.
Lyric is a fairy, and she was here yesterday. I don't. She's.
You can't tell me she's shy.
No, she's not shy. It's like she's not jumping through.
Yeah.
She's not coming through right now. She's around, but she's not coming through.
Yeah.
There's a group of beings that do not have an individual name that I've started calling the teachers because they're teaching me. So I refer to them as the teachers, and that seems to be fine with them and me. And a lot of energies that come through do not have names, and when I ask them for a name, they kind of go blank, and it's
what's a name?
Right. It's like, well, we don't go by names here. We go by energy signatures, and you become familiar with that frequency or that energy signature. But that also changes as we come and go, as we ebb and flow. We are fluid. We are all fluid. You are all fluid. You just use your power of attention to, with laser-like focus, to maintain a specific identity for your specific experience in this life. It's highly purposeful. We're not saying that's anything of the sort that it's not necessary. For you to have the experiences that you signed up to have, you needed to have this focus of identity. But these times that we're in right now, we are, you are, and we are, and you are, because we are all one. We are moving beyond that. We are erasing our edges, all of us.
Beautifully put. Wonderful.
It's hard to keep track of who's here.
Yeah. And you've also had visits from the Arcturians at various times.
Oh, yes. Yes.
That was quite an energy, was it not?
I had an off-planet being who identified, it was a masculine energy, identified himself as Arcturian, who fried my circuits. I was wasted. I couldn't. They came into me. It came into my mind and did his best to show me a picture of what he looks like in my mind, and it came through. It came like a television screen with the snow, the squigglies. There was that picture in black and red, very intense, and then an outline shape came through, which is your typical light bulb that we humans like to think of as the extraterrestrial head shape. There was the light bulb head shape. And as that statically came into my head, into my mind, in my forehead, I saw the picture and then I just shorted out.
Wow, yeah.
And after he withdrew, I couldn't move, and I had to have my husband help me stand up, and I couldn't think. And we went outside. I was kind of gently guided from within to go outside and touch a tree. So I stood between two small aspen trees and in the barefoot on the ground, and it was in January. Very cold rain coming down, but I needed it. And I stood there for several moments, I guess, getting grounded.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. You're grounding that energy now into the earth.
Yes, resetting, grounding. And I still, it took me several hours before my brain was working the way I'm used to having it work. It was a very intense experience, and somebody online, as I described it, said that they have such advanced technology that it was likely that they were using some advanced technology that just overrode my circuits.
Wow.
That we are energetic beings. We are beings of energy, and I don't have a better explanation than that, but it was a trip, let me tell you, and I wasn't really any sort of a UFO follower or an alien believer. Never was drawn in that direction, never had any inclination to go there. But man, after the visit from the Arcturian, I'm all over that shit, let me tell you that. That's some powerful stuff out there, and I
got dragged kicking and screaming into it too. You know, that wasn't anywhere on my radar, and then all of a sudden I had some stuff happen, and I was like, I can't deny this. I can't pretend like it's not there and not real.
Right.
So you had the same type of experience. That's so funny. Wow.
Yeah, it's an absolute 100% part of my understanding of reality. That the extraterrestrials, the off-planet beings, whatever you want to call them, they're here amongst us. And we actually have several visits now. I haven't for not this whole week, although my dreams have been very intense and full of messages about allowing multidimensional self to operate in daily life. But I haven't had an ET or an alien visit for a while.
Yeah, it's been about a month, maybe 2 for me now. But as you said, this last week with the dream activity has been just off the charts. Just I wake up, and there have been times where I've been in this type of dream activity where I'll wake up feeling exhausted, absolutely spent. This week, even though there's been such great activity, I wake up feeling like $1,000,000. It's like it's so positive, like so much is being accomplished. It's almost celebratory.
Yeah.
That's the feeling that I'm getting when I come out of it. Even though I realize I've been, I don't know what I was doing all night, but I was sure doing something. But having that wonderful feeling of accomplishment as I wake up, that's tremendous.
Yes, I agree. I wake up feeling like I've almost got a task list in front of me myself, but I'm task oriented. It's just my nature. I'm task oriented, and so I wake up remembering all my dreams and what they've told me, and it's like, okay, I've got to go check these boxes off, and my non-physical helpers are really working, trying to help me become more playful and less task-oriented, and to lighten up. And I am moving in that direction slowly, but 54 years of conditioning don't just unravel overnight.
That's right. Exactly. Well, let's see, we're at about 1:45, so I think what I'm going to do at this point is I did want to again remind everybody that you can find Allison in a number of ways, a number of places. Allison offers private sessions, and she is on Facebook on it's Connecting to Consciousness page, correct, on Facebook?
Yes, Connecting to Consciousness.
Okay, and then you have a YouTube channel where you have a number of videos of. And by the way, I've been keeping up with your videos. The last one you did on blending was so helpful to so many people, and as you've gone along, and the messages that you've been delivering have been so timely and so perfectly tailored to what I sense so many people are going through at any given time. So highly recommend that you folks, if you're interested, look up Allison on YouTube, look up her YouTube channel, and a number of videos there that you can view. And also, you can find Allison in our Consciousness Evolution 2.0 group on Facebook, where she visits almost daily, or pretty much every day, I think.
Yes, I think so. And while we're on the subject of instructing on blending, and we've talked about channeling and everybody's abilities, we have another teacher. You can find her at psychicbroadband.com. Her name is Ruth Elin, and she also offers channeling lessons, as does Dan Scranton. And there are many teachers out there offering assistance these days. And
Ruth's going to be a future guest on the show.
Oh, fantastic! Mm-hmm. Yes, yes. She's just rolling out. She's just started teaching channeling too. So, for folks who are interested, there are many. State your intention, and the doors will open. So, doors are opening all over.
You bet. And the Consciousness Evolution group, by the way, on Facebook, Consciousness Evolution 2.0. This is not a promotional group. It's not a sales group. This is a place where we have amazing, wonderful people coming there, opening their hearts, sharing their talents, sharing their perspectives, sharing their abilities, and helping. It really is a place of blending with each other, which is what become very apparent, is this sharing of energy that we're doing on this page. And highly recommend that if you're interested that you come and join us there. You'll find amazing activity there, lots of good information each day from a number of different perspectives and a number of different topics. So we'll look forward to having you join us there.
Yes.
And let's see. Did I cover everything about you? I think so.
Everything I want covered.
Well, I want to thank you so much again. Oh, and you're going to be appearing on Daniel Scranton's show in the near future, are you not?
Yeah, sometime. I believe it's the third week in May.
Ah, very good. Well, we'll look forward to having you there, and I'm hoping to have you back as a regular on this show, so I hope you'll join us again.
Oh, this has been delightful. I've enjoyed it completely, and I know everybody else in this room that I can't see enjoyed it fully as well.
Oh, it was a wonderful time, and thank you again, Allison, for joining us. Love you so much, and Michael, and we'll look forward to talking to you next time.
Okay, we love you too, and thank you very much for having us, Phil. We'll talk to you later.
Always a pleasure.
You too.
All right, we're just going to make a couple quick announcements, just a couple reminders about the Enlightenment Evolution Network. Rob Goth here has put together this wonderful group of people, well, I guess I can say that about myself, who are going to be putting on shows. We're eventually going to have a hosted show on metaphysical topics 7 days a week. And Rob has done a terrific job of putting this together. Again, so much love to Rob and Kalina, and I'm so pleased and happy to be able to come here and do this show on Thursday nights, and I will be here every Thursday night. And again, you can find me on Consciousness Evolution 2.0 group on Facebook. I also have a YouTube channel where I have a number of different videos, including some of Allison's, and I also have I've been reading Seth's sessions from the Dreams, Evolution, Value Fulfillment Volumes 1 and 2 and posting them as individual sessions on a playlist. And that, if you want to get a taste of Seth, that's a wonderful place to start. It was actually the last books that were dictated of that type, but they kind of start before the beginning and take you right through to where we are today in this shift. And it's each video is about 10 to 20 minutes long, very enjoyable to listen to, and you're going to love, if you've never heard Seth before, you're going to love what Seth has to say. Seth is just this tremendous energy, and so appreciate that work that they did through Jane Roberts and Robert Butts. So that's where you can find me. As far as the other shows, once again, Monday night at 9:30 p.m. EST, Eastern Standard Time, and 6:30 p.m. Pacific. Daniel Scranton hosting Heart to Heart Talk Radio. And I know next Monday, Daniel will be channeling one of his energies, either the Creators or Ophelia the Fairy or the Hathors, and he'll be taking callers. And it's always love listening to Daniel, always very clear and wonderful information coming through. Daniel also posts on the Consciousness Evolution 2.0 group daily, and you can also go to his website, which is danielscranton.com, and sign up for daily email updates, and catch Daniel here on Blog Talk next Monday night at 6:30 Pacific or 9:30 Standard. And then Wednesday nights, of course, Rob Goth here, the creator of the Enlightenment Evolution Network, and Rob is hosting his show next Wednesday. We just had a wonderful conversation with Treb yesterday, and next week will be Freeform, I believe, so where he'll be taking caller questions and having discussions. So we'll look forward to that. You can find Rob a number of places. You can find him at trebchanneling.com. That's TREB as in boy, channeling.com. You can find them on Facebook. There's a wonderful group there on Facebook called the Enlightenment Evolution Network Facebook group. And all of these shows that I'm talking about here will always be posted, the links, that day. So if you don't know where to go to get the information, go and sign up for the Enlightenment Evolution Network and the Consciousness Evolution 2.0 group on Facebook, and you'll get those daily updates about the show times and what's going to be playing that particular day. So that's Wednesday nights that Rob does his Enlightenment Evolution Hour. And then Friday nights coming will be the Earth Experience with Kalina Angel. Kalina is hosting her new upcoming show. That dates and details are in the works. We should have some more information on that shortly. And then the other days will be announced soon. I know we've got a lot of people that Rob's looking at right now to bring in to do some of these shows. And we're very excited. I'm personally just beyond myself excited about the expansion that this radio network represents, and the bringing this energy, being able to hold this energy and reflect it out to our world and to the people that are seeking this kind of information. On the Blog Talk Radio page that you are connected to as you're listening to the show, there is a donation link at the bottom. If you're interested in helping to support us, then please do that. And every one of the hosts has their own individual donation pages or buttons. And I encourage you that if you found this information to be helpful and interesting, to please donate and support us. And I think that's about it. It's been a wonderful show. Again, my most heartfelt love and thanks to Allison Hamilton for joining me on the show tonight. Even better than I could have ever imagined, and so thankful to have a connection with her and to be able to share this time that we're all experiencing now and this expansion. And so pleased that she was able to join me tonight, and I'm sure that she will be back to join us again in the near future, so stay tuned for more details about that. And I think that about wraps us up for the night. So again, to all the listeners, my deepest, heartfelt thanks to you for tuning in tonight. You complete me with your heart connection, the energy. I sit here and just feel the energy that's created as we go through the show, and it's the most wonderful experience for me, and a wonderful co-creative experience that we can do this together. And so all my love to you, and tune in next Thursday night. We'll be back at 9 p.m. Have a fond, good evening. Love you, and good night.